Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to be talking. I have a question. And the question that I have for you is: does eBay support counterfeiting, counterfeiters? We have had some issues with lots of counterfeits. And recently, eBay's made some changes, and changes have made it extremely difficult to report. So the other day, along with Jack Young and Jack Riley, there were a ton of people who reported a number of items on a known counterfeit, and we got rejection after rejection after rejection. So, because of this, I went through and did about 25 rejections. I wanted to see if I put in some good, solid detail, told them, and I've got two coins here that they're as fake can be. I wanted to see what the end result can be, and the emails that I got back warrant action. So uh, I'm kind of stepping up my game on this. I've reached out to a buddy of mine who's a law enforcement officer to find out like what action we can do, because there's some changes that happen. Now we'll talk a little bit about what to look at as far as when you're looking at the listings to make sure and identify whether or not they hide the details in the details. If they tell you that it's fake or it's a reproduction, but they list it as real, but they tell you down there hidden in that it's real, then it still is within eBay's policy. The two that I'm going to talk to you about today do not do that, and they are so far beyond fake that it's beyond reproach. So we're going to be talking about this. I've got both Paula and Eric. Eric just stepped away to get some coffee. I went and got me a small cup of coffee. Cups about it. I love
it. I like big cups. I like big cups and I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like big cups and I cannot lie.
Well, that was cheesy. Good morning, everyone.
But I'm going to show you some things. But before we do that, I'm just going to go through and do our standard pleasantry. Hi, everybody. So Coin Junkie, my Canadian brother, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the channel. Scotty Aquati, Kevin Hawthorne, thank you guys for being here. Ground Fog is almost always one of the first to come in and say hi. Hope you're doing well. Mod Extraordinaire Siren with all the happy emojis, always lighting up the chat. Thank you so much for being here. If you notice, I got ahead of you this time, and I actually put my links at the top. I myself, but I always. We got Neil, Han Dynasty, Buy Silver Platinum, and Crystallized Osmium. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mine, Metal Matt is here. Eric is back. Rockzilla, hope you're doing well. Azure Blue, the Acadian Carpenter. Thank you guys for being members. Appreciate it. Jack Gallman, hope you're doing well, my friend. Freaking awesome. Another moderator extraordinary. We need to get together. We keep talking about doing. Azure Blue, and I think that's it. If I missed you, then say something.
Raise your hand.
Look at this. Look who's here.
Mr. Oh, who let him in?
Who let him in? Who let the dogs in? Who? We had a very interesting thing this morning. We've got some investigation to do, Paula. We need to talk about this because this morning I went into my program to do a local recording, and it broadcasts on Coppercoin.
What?
I kid you not.
Chuck, what are you doing?
I called. I text. Yeah, I know. I text Eric immediately. Emailed both Chuck and Eric and said, "I think that when we did that collaborate, something in that particular recording area made a connection, and I streamed."
Yeah, how come it didn't broadcast on my channel?
Well, for one, I'm not a managing moderator. I'm not an owning mod. I shouldn't be able to do that. And so I want to do some investigation to find out what happened. But we've got it removed. Everything is good. But it's definitely something of discussion. Jack Young, good morning. James
Good
Valley,
morning,
how you
Jack.
doing?
Good
So,
morning,
Jack,
everybody.
I
I
want
can't see
you.
you guys over in portrait. Hello, good morning,
I
everybody in
want
portrait.
Jack. I want you to know the reason that Eric did it. It's Eric's fault. Gotcha.
It's Eric's fault.
The
Always my
reason that we're
fault.
doing this is because of you. The reason that we're
Hashtag
having this
blame Eric.
discussion today is because of the information that you've shared with me and some of the stuff that's out there.
Hashtag blame Jack Young.
No, hashtag thank Jack Young. Very important. And so I'm going to pull this up. Well, first off, before we do that, hi Paul and Eric.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
How are you
Good
two
morning,
doing?
everybody in chat. Good morning, good morning. It's good to see all your beautiful, well, screen names.
Told you this coffee cup is
20th. That it's a boat.
it's
That's
made for
that's
soup.
a soup bowl.
It's a soup
It
bowl,
looks
but
like a soup bowl, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I always make it for coffee because I'm here for an hour and a half and I can't go get a top off, so I might as well make my 2 cups of coffee in one.
Good morning, Jack. I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that video. That'll be great.
Oh, it's going to be
Jack,
a really good one too.
I have been following your guys' leads, and I picked me up 2 CC Morgans that are fake. Swamp Dog just sent me a really nice Proof ASC. Looks really, really good. Absolutely magnetic. So I've got some people sending me some stuff. So for those people that have sent me the silver round, Swamp Dog for sending me that, thank you. But Jack, I can't thank you enough. I'm going to pull this up. Now, you guys have seen this. We've showed this before. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. Jack Riley is the one who posted this particular seller. And the reason, and again, we talked about this last week, the reason that I really enjoyed this particular one is because every coin the seller has is fake. So you get a really good example of being able to see a wide variety of fake coins. Really look at them, put them side by side with the real items, and be able to get information. And I've utilized this particular seller a lot to try to identify certain things. But if you look at this very first coin, this is the coin of discussion today.
Oh boy.
Okay. Now, I'm going to remove this. So give me just a second. Let me caption. A very key element. If you look at this particular coin is 1912. All right. So in the realm of not overly exorbitant as far as dates, this one is 4 years predating the Walking Liberty half and 75 years predating the American Silver Eagle. So we know this doesn't exist. Now, not only that, but it's listed. I go back here and I go back in. It's actually listed as a trade dollar. The 1912 United States Liberty trade dollar. Rare silver coin.
Look at the sellers' names.
Again?
They're in China.
The sellers' names.
Yeah.
Not even the same. It's obviously the same seller.
Yeah. And so when you look through this, and this is this particular eBay seller, the Dong Ying Quigi, or whatever that is. This person has 80 some odd listings in every single one of them.
Well, 80 something different names too, right?
No, this particular listing is all the same name, but there's multiple listings that have the exact same coins.
Yeah.
But there's so much wrong with
scroll
this.
down to the manufacturer and composition and stuff like that. Information and see if
$30 shipping.
Yep.
From China.
From Greater China. Yep. So from mainland China. If we scroll down, what are we looking for here?
All right, it just says uncertified. Like I got a listing up right now. Remember, I was telling you that a lot of people are burying information that says that they're counterfeit. This one comes flat out and says that it's absolutely counterfeit.
Well, and again, this is we're going to get there. I don't want to jump ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But when we look at this, there's nothing on this listing that says it's fake. It tells you that it's silver. It tells you that it's EMR coming to Walmart near you soon, probably. But this particular coin, there's no item, no description, nothing in the contents of this particular item to tell you that it's fake or counterfeit. So the other night, had a little bout of insomnia, and I was like, well, I'm going to come up and I'm going to go in. Say again?
I saw that.
Yeah, well, it's like I couldn't sleep. Like I was wired for sound.
Holy cow.
So I sat down at the computer and I was starting to go through eBay and identify. I have some of my counterfeit coins up here that have been. We've walked through. Paula and I have walked through some of the ones that I've gotten by reference and talking with Jack Riley and stuff and identifying certain things, picking up a couple of these cheap ones to look at, and so trying to look at them and find different items. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this live. I want to show people how easy it is to report these. And there were two of them that I really took a lot of time and said, this is the problem. And I took pictures, screenshots. This is a problem. This is not in the design element. This is not in the design element. Circled the elements, added the photos, did everything I could, reported them up. Gave them detailed descriptions of why this coin wasn't real. Now, it's hard to see, but here's their response. And I have these side by side, but you're not going to be able to see this. And we've seen this before. Thank you again for the reporting listing you found.
Yeah.
We looked into your report and didn't find anything to be in violation of our policy. This determination was made by a customer service agent. Now, the difference here is that it's not your standard AI review response. Most of the time you're going to get these, they're going to be reviewed by AI. I'm sorry. I don't know why the commercials. It's like they just have forced them back on again. I'll have to look into that and find out what's going on. Sorry about that. So looking at this, again, this was done by a customer service agent. So when I reported this, I reported 3 elements. Number 1, the date. You can clearly see here, 1912. I told them this is $1. The first Walking Liberty dollar, American Silver Eagle, was created 1986 by the artist Adolf Weinman. This coin, listed as a Silver Eagle walking trade dollar, doesn't exist. Nowhere in the U.S. arsenal does this particular coin exist. And it states that it's silver. Well, all I wager it's probably not even a silver coin. It's probably metallic, like steel, maybe copper. But looking at the makeup of it, looking at the general thing, it's probably a magnetic. I also told you that I had circled the images and sent them back to the seller and told them, hey, I have questions about some of this. Markings don't match. And then I got this in. Now, this is a problem. Okay, so I have a problem with the fact that eBay comes back and says a customer service representative has actually looked at this, did their investigation, and found that this is basically an authentic coin. I have a problem with that. And so my question to you all is, does eBay care more about making money than they do about actual counterfeit?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So I'm going to be doing something, but the coin that I'm going to do it with is not this one. It's this one. Now, this one was even a bigger grievance, and this one I had so much damn fun. It's an 1811 Liberty trade dollar, rare. Now, why is this one so fun for me? Well, I can't find the coin anymore. They've removed the coin listing because I asked the seller if I could get more information on the coin, and it's gone. I didn't save the URL. It's gone. Can't find it. But so obviously they knew something was going on. But let's talk about the Walking Liberty. Again, we look at the dates on this. I go to NGC if you guys ever want to know about what the censuses are. You want to know general years, you can always look at a red book or something like that. Or you can come to the NGC or the PCGS and just look at the census report. And the census reports will tell you the years in which that coin was created. So we come here and we look at 1916. Well, this was 1811. So about 105 years prior to the creation of the earliest representative of walking anything. Okay, not a big deal. But then I pulled this up because this is something that I thought you guys would find really interesting. When was Adolf Weinman born?
I was going to ask you that question.
This is 60 years before Adolf Weinman was even born. So this one was exceptionally fun for me because I enjoy. My favorite designer is Christian Grobrecht. You guys should know that. I love the seededs. I love the typeset stuff that he did. I really like Christian Grobrecht and what Christian Grobrecht used to do in relation to moving from the single punch dates to multi-set dates to the three on one, 2 on 2, ultimately moving into the 4-date sets. Like really, really neat stuff. But I've done a number of stories on Adolf Weinman. And so I was like, well, he was born in 70. This is 60 years before he was born. So again, we have obviously a coin. Now, it's here behind you, obviously a coin. But again, this one was also reviewed by a customer service agent and stated that it is fine. Now, I can't find this listing anymore. I've gone through, tried to find it. It's not there. It doesn't exist. And so it's like, well, what do I do? And there's absolutely nothing I can do. Now, they do have one that is a 1910, a 1911, a 1912, a 1914. They have dates that are pre-existent. This is one of the sellers that has that exceedingly rare 1796 peace dollar, which is probably one of my favorite peace dollars. I always find that one fascinating. But these coins, there's just no way they can exist. So I want to have some just general conversation. Exactly as your bin. I want to ask chat. I want to kind of get your guys' opinion because I have a new walking mantra. Now there's something that I always say. That's something you need to understand. That's my, when there's an important item, that's how I always lead into it. But my mantra is this. Every one of you that watches this, every one of you that's in the stream has the capability to impact our hobby. You have the capability to learn, you have the capability to grow, you have the capability to explain to others, but in order to do so, we have to make sure you get the right information.
Yep.
Okay, that's important, and that's on us. That's on us as educators. Okay, and this is what we are. I like to laugh, I like to joke, I like to whatever, but I really want to do historical education, talk about the numismatic history of the coins, talk about the really neat items of the coins, talk about the general makeup and what happened during that time, talk about the various phases through the minting process and all that kind of stuff, the history. So it's on me. It's not on you to just know it. This is why I get so frustrated when I hear people say, well, they should know it's a scratch on a coin. It's not a perfect coin. Well, how should they know that? Have they ever been taught? But Paul has dealt with everybody who has a coin shop or has dealt with somebody wants to show somebody a fabulous coin that's non-existent. Once you teach them and then they do it again, then it's shame on you. Right? You got the information, you chose not to utilize it. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can't force you to do it. But it is up to us to make sure you have the information. So I want to do a couple things. And again, Paula has been really instrumental in my life in making sure that I understand the importance of validation of the information before I speak it. If for some reason I say something wrong and she can validate this, I've removed more videos than I've uploaded because I said something wrong. Re-recorded them, redid them.
Because I bully you.
Well, yeah. But again, it's one of those things where she's been very instrumental in doing that. There have been other people who have been instrumental in my life in making sure they connected me with good people and introduced me to people in the communities. But Jack is one of those people who recently I've been able to kind of get to know a little bit more about, really understand what they've done, working with Jack Riley, talking with different things. They're including me more in conversations. And I really want to stand beside them and help them in one of their major. That is reporting these. So I want to do a couple of things. So I want to go through how to report something on eBay. Some of the elements, I want Jack to speak up in chat, if you would, and let's talk about what kind of standard language you might use. But I also want to make sure that as we pulled up, yeah, exactly. This is why I'm talking about this particular one. Now, what's good about this particular user is that you have a really good opportunity to see a bunch of counterfeit coins. Now, you get good at understanding the design elements of coins by repetitive looking at them. You can see these very quickly. And when you look at these over and over and over again, and then you go look at original, some things just jump out at you. They jump out at you. For instance, in this particular one, a couple of the items that really stand out to me, obviously the lettering is wrong. The feet are wrong. This area here in her outfit is totally wrong. The background here on the flag is absolutely wrong. This is kind of right, but the whole thing is generally incorrect. The rays of the sun are wrong. The thickness on the ground. Is this the right reverse for this particular one? This type 1 or type 2? Would this be the right one? It's important to know the difference between type 1 and type 2 reverse.
Not on a 1912.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is if you're talking, so when you're looking at, for instance, trade dollars, or you're looking at certain things, it's important to understand if it's a type 1 or type 2 reverse, right? When you're looking at standing liberty quarters, is it a type 1 or type 2? If you find a 1917, or excuse me, a 1918 that has a type 1 reverse on it, you know that's going to be fake. So it's important to understand the reverses. Is the reverse even the right one? Well, the design is horrible. It is the right one, but look at the lettering. The lettering is absolutely atrocious. So there are things that you start to see as you look through these. But what I want to do is I want to do a report. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to report on this same one and just let them know, look, the previous one is here. And I'm going to take some of their language and say, this is a repeat. After this, this coin doesn't exist, right? It was created 4 years before the first coin of this type was even created, 3 years before the development of this design on any coin. So how do we do that? What do you do? And again, is it going to come back? Are they going to make any changes? Probably not. But the more that we do this, the more they start seeing this, the more they might take some action. Okay. And again, I can't change the world for everybody, but I might be able to change the world for one. So what you do here is you come down here and you click on report this item. Oops, I got to go back to continue.
I say we write Doge. We need to write Doge.
All right. So a report from categories. Now, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been using listing practices instead of counterfeits. Counterfeits tend to be an almost immediate AI injection. They usually come back within 10 to 15 minutes. Definitely haven't seen anything. Fraudulent listing activities is the element that I've been doing, and why best the listing is fraudulent, and then it's going to ask you why. And in this particular case, sign on the front of this coin wasn't been developed yet. And 12.
Thanks, freaking awesome. Counterfeit. You're freaking awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, so Ms. Coin Crew, if you look at the dollar coin, 1986 was the first year. However, the development of the Walking Liberty was actually created in 1915. The first year it was actually put on the half dollar, which is the walking half dollar. Adolf Weinman created the Walking Liberty obverse in 1915. So this is 4 years prior to this coin even being developed. So 1986, the development of the Walking Liberty had already been around for 60 years, 70 years.
I gotta go get some coffee.
You're fine, no worries. But again, in this particular case, yeah. Okay, this coin is fertilizer. Okay, you got it. That's what I'll do. Okay. So I'm going to submit report. Okay, so outstanding. So we're going to do this, and then you'll get your notification. Now, what will happen is I will get an email here in anywhere from 3 to 25 minutes indicating that this is done. Now, by the end of the stream, I might get a response. But the thing is all we can do is the best that we can. And so I really want to urge you to go in and do this. Now, I'm going to take this a step further. I've reached out to a buddy of mine who is in law enforcement, and I'm asking him what the procedures are when they know of known counterfeit. Now, Jack Riley, Jack Young, you guys may already know this, that I want to have a conversation with you guys about, actually talk with you guys, and talk about the general processes, because what I really want to do, like this customer relation thing that's already been reviewed, a simple review of a red book, if they would have looked at, hey, what's the first year of this coin, the search result would have yielded a net 0. Nothing was done. I don't even believe an attempt was made. I believe they walked through, it's a coin, it doesn't really matter, $4.99, not a big deal, pass it. But what I want to do is I want to get repeated comments. Now, I'm going to show you, let me look at this. So I've got my information up here, and I've got reply after reply after reply after reply that they're looking for. I'm keeping all of these, okay? And I'm going to document every one of their replies back to me that tell me that they have received their reports. I should be getting something here shortly from them. I'm going to monitor and keep every one of these. Now, what I want to do is I want to have a collection of this along with a copy of the coins and a copy of my submitted report, which they give you, right? They tell you what you submitted, and then it comes back. But I want to take photos. I want to get screenshots of all the coins that are there, and I want to document what it is that's wrong with them. And so as we do this, I want to provide this to law enforcement and then have them do one large ticket on individual sellers. I don't know the best way through this. This is stuff that I'm still looking into doing. But I really want to come alongside people like Jack Young, who are really, this is what he does. him, Jack Riley, Joe Cronin. There's so many people. If you go look at the American Numismatic Association and you look at the counterfeit representatives that are there that help teach all this stuff and do the courses, there's like 54 people or something like that that are listed that really fight for the community. And I don't know any of them, but I really want to get to know some of them. I really want to understand what it is, what's successful, what isn't, why it is, why it isn't. Because it's my responsibility, it's your responsibility, it's Paula's responsibility if we really want to protect our hobby to do. I can't change the world for you, but I might be able to change one thing into making sure that it's looking at protecting people. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some great things out there. Okay? There are some amazing finds that can be found on eBay. But eBay needs to step their game back up. Their AI obviously doesn't work. Again, if you guys are taking AI as your first go-to reference, you're going to have more misinformation than you'll ever have. Because it's just not good. Just isn't. Coach, seems like you're leaning into the heavy scam prevention lately. Sadly, I guess it's an important part of the hobby. To be honest, not making me thrilled about coins in general. Not every one of the discussions that I'm going to have is going to be anti-scam. The reason, oh, guess what? I just got my notification. Thank you for submitting your report. We are going to look into it. We'll report back. Yeah, so I've already gotten the report. Why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because it's going to get worse. And the counterfeits are going to get better. And there's nothing I can do to prevent that from happening. But I can give you the best information that I know how to and connect you with people who know what's going on so that we arm you with the information to make better decisions. That
so
way,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do we know that these, okay, because, so we're obviously looking at a stock image, right? Because, or whatever, because there's multiple sellers with like, it looks like the same coin. It's just like been certain, like the dates have been changed or whatever. How do we know that these even get shipped? Like the people aren't just paying for these and then never getting anything. Because in that one ad you showed, it said shipping was $30. And then you scroll down and it says free shipping. So scroll down. Scroll. Scroll right there.
Oh, interesting.
So how do we even know that these people, that they're even shipping these? Whatever,
I don't know. Hey, Eric Math just dropped 5 memberships. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Jenny
because
Sweetheart,
so
Sean Witzel,
seller names.
3D Woodwork, Papa York, and Vincent. Yeah, so here's the thing. If they don't ship it, at least you have some sort of recourse with eBay.
Do you though? Because, well, I guess maybe
you're going to have some recourse with eBay if you never get it. They can refund your money and do stuff like that. So because they have to.
But the seller still gets the money.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to refund it.
They're in China. They are probably not even real people. I bet you, because they are all different seller names. I'll bet you those are just bots somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and Coins and Ghouls, good morning.
I don't think they care that they close the account down. That's why I said look at all of them. They're all the same types of images. They just make new accounts. They're just all different accounts.
Yeah. And if you go through and you look, and one thing that I've been doing is just looking at the Chinese coin. And this is how I'm finding these particular sets. And again, like I said, you got 1910, 1917, 1906. And there's all types, but all of them, every one from this area, I mean,
horrible.
You definitely can tell this date's been redone. I mean, that's horrible. 1816. Okay, so there we are. We're getting into some of the closer ones. But again, he was born, the guy who did this design was born in 1870. What the hell, right? I mean, this should be a no-brainer. But as you look through, and again, I'm not recommending anybody go here to buy anything, but if you really want to understand what some of these things look like and really get the differences, they're all about the same look and feel. They're all the same basic thing, but they all come from the same general. Yeah, that one's a beauty one. They're all the same general look and feel of metal, right?
Oh my goodness, Ollie.
Yeah, this is a good one. You'll like the reverse on this one. What's wrong with this one, folks?
Nice.
Okay, no, Paula, shush, Eric, shush. What's wrong with this coin? This is a 1921. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this reverse? Kind of blaring. Jumps right out at you. I bought an 1846 large cent with a stock image of a genuine one and received a fake one. Oh, yeah, that happens too. Yeah.
Seller left and eBay received my money back from eBay. Yeah, but so Jack, my question though is that if it's not even a real person, I mean, and they just closed their eBay account, that person still got the money, right? eBay may refund your money or PayPal may refund your money, but they have to try to go after that person who's probably not even a real person.
Come on, Pedro, you're a 1921 peace dollar lover. What's wrong with this reverse? There's like outside of some of the general design elements being weak and it looked like it being a cast coin. What design element is missing? Very, very important one. Like one of the.
It's another trade dollar.
Yeah, I mean, but again, everything's a trade dollar. Because it's China, right? So you think of China, you think of trade dollars. It's just one of those.
They want to trade you their crap for your money.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and so they close the seller's account, but I have
his actual info.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I've left you guys high and dry for long enough. There should be another ray right here. And that's not there. So this clearly isn't the right reverse for this. And there's a couple other things here that are wrong. But this one is the big one. This one, it's a really easy thing to identify. And that one beam is just, it's not there. And that's definitely something to identify, especially in the 21. Now, you might be able to find one in a 22. They're ultra, ultra rare, but you can find that. But other than that, it's pretty much just. And again, you can find the same thing. So if you're looking at a 1924 and it has that little extra ray there, that's another sign that that is a problem because they didn't have that particular item on that coin. So again, there's lots and lots and lots, and so. Why am I walking you through a bunch of fake coins? Well, just like normal coin, okay? Vote for Pedro, don't confuse people. I know you're being funny, brother. Just like looking at normal coins. Eric, looking at Lincoln cents, what's the first piece of advice you're going to give people?
Oh, God, it depends. There's a lot of things to look at. But looking at Lincoln cents for what?
Just in general, what do people need to get familiar with if they're going to look at a Lincoln cent?
The design in general.
That's exactly right. That's the answer I was looking for.
The strikes are always weak, stuff like that.
Right, Paul, you tell me that all the time. Know the design, right? Chuck Daughtry has told me that a ton. But if you don't know the design, you shouldn't be searching coins. Have good representation images of the design. EMR, that's the second most important piece.
Know what is normal.
Yeah, know what's normal and know what can happen. If you don't understand the minting process, you can't necessarily say what's right, what's wrong. And you can't explain how it could happen. So, we do this exercise, but we haven't done it for a while, Paul. We need to do it again.
Okay.
Would this have happened on the hub would this have happened on the hub or the die?
Oh.
Right? Well, it depends. I mean, is it in Qs? Is the device element in Q? If the device is in Qs,
or obtuse, I was
or obtuse. So if it's in Qs, for instance, like you have a 1911 Indian head gold, but the item in this is in Qs, just like the lettering is in Qs, most likely that's going to have happened either damage on the coin or on the hub. But if it's raised, then it most likely it's going to be an issue with the die. And so it's important to understand where things happen and making sure you go back through. Yeah, attribution. Yeah. But you can learn what's wrong by looking at coins like this and seeing the wrong stuff. But don't start here. Start with really knowing the design element and then choose one and point out what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. Go to the next one. Point out what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. If one looks really, really good to you, like you can't figure it out, that's when you send us a message. And you say, hey, I found one. I would like for you to look at it with us. And then send it to Jack. Post it on the social media. Post it, send it to one of our emails. And, we can look at it and do that kind of stuff to make sure that you have that information. So here's my ask. Okay, I want you to look for these things. But if you find a seller, and again, if I click on this one, this is not the same person. It's a different person.
It could be the same person.
Well, but I'm talking about the account. Okay. Yeah. And if you look through these, again, they're all counterfeit coins. If you go through, now, if you're looking specifically.
Kennedys.
Again?
I said, look at those Kennedys. Look how happy he is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the fake Lincolns. He's always real happy.
Oh, yeah. They call that the SEG, or the shit-eating grin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at this. Check this out. I love this. Look at that date on that one. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. But again, you can see these. Now, you're most likely not going to find a really good counterfeit here. Okay, you're not going to find the ones that are really meant to deceive. These ones are meant to deceive the people who just don't know. These ones, I think Jack calls them red book varieties or red book counterfeits, where just looking at the red book is going to help you identify whether or not it's possible or not. You don't really have to look at anything else. However, the ones I want you to look for and the ones I want you to not necessarily report back on, but if you happen to find, let's say you find a 1921 and it looks really nice, MS64 condition, MS63 condition, they're looking at $1,500, $1,800, $1,900. It's just one of those things that just is, it's crazy. Freaking awesome. I totally missed that. I was looking at something. Sorry. Freaking awesome gifted 5 memberships. I totally missed.
Freaking awesome's freaking awesome.
Freaking awesome is freaking awesome. And I apologize. I was looking. Let's see. Sorcerer Stan, Jenny Sweetheart, John Shank, Wild Card Coins, Silver Slinky. Make sure you say thank you to freaking awesome. Sorry, brother. I have, if you look at my setup, I got screens all the way across my desk, and I've got resources on all of them, trying to pull stuff up. So I apologize. I didn't mean to. I do appreciate your support. Dean R. eBay has lost its way. Yeah, it's horrible. And they've made it harder to report. But what I would like you guys to do, and again, I say this, even every one of you, every single one of you has the capability to have a massive impact on this hobby.
Good and bad.
Good and bad, yeah. So it's important that we try to give you the best information that we can. Like, try to go through and identify things that will make sure that you get enough information to make a wise decision. Ultimately, the buy is yours. You make up your mind if you're going to do it or not. But I want to look at a very succinct subset of items. And I've talked to Paul about this a lot. I like understanding counterfeits, especially the really good ones. Now, I've talked with Jack about a couple of these. I want to show, and I need to get permission before we do this. But they post periodically some really, really, really nice. And I would like to bring a couple of these up and say, what are your thoughts? What do you see? And just generally have some discussions and make sure that, Jack's in here and then can elaborate on that. Paula's in here. She can elaborate on that. Miss Coin Crew, $10 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. Appreciate the super chat. Now, I've kept this open now because freaking awesome. I miss freaking awesome, so I'm trying to be observant. But again, I want to try to make sure that you guys have the best information. Now, I am going to have fun, and I'm going to talk about cool things in the hobby. Tomorrow, when we do this, I'm bringing Angry Warrior up. Angry Warrior is going to talk silver. He's going to show his pours. He's going to talk about the process of it and what happens. He's going to talk about what he does. And I don't know if he's actually going to be doing one or not, but we're just going to be talking about the fun aspect of silver and pouring and some of the cool things that he does. And if you've never seen Angry Warrior's pours, this guy pours some amazing stuff. I'm going to have some of the pours that I've got from him. I'm going to go be picking those up today, and I'll have them ready for tomorrow's show. Nice. So we'll be showing you some of the pours I've got from Angry Warrior that I both collect and stack. Hey, Mike, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for the shout out in Baltimore, dude. That was really cool of you. I appreciate you guys doing. It's nice.
That's our friend Mike Noodle from the Coin Show podcast.
The Coin Show
podcast.
Hey, how did your buddy get into the Red Book? What gives up? What's up with that?
Right.
I think it was a photo from the Baltimore show the year before, wasn't it?
Photo bomb.
Yeah.
But that's another channel, folks. If you're not subscribed to the Coin Show podcast or the Ancient Coin Show podcast, Aaron Burke did respond back to me and said yes, he's interested in coming up. So we're just trying to coordinate that. I need to give him some dates, but he has told me that
I have been binge watching his channel. They're
amazing,
Isn't it good?
Stuff. Ancient coins are just way overwhelming.
So good.
Yeah.
So many
I feel so stupid after I watch it.
Yeah.
He's a plethora of knowledge.
Wait a minute.
And
I really am not very smart.
The history that he. But
I know.
Yeah, it's really cool. So anyway, but he has said yes, he's interested in doing that. So I'm just going to try and coordinate and get him to come up, and then he can talk, and we'll have an H. That would be a lot of fun. You should
get Mike up with him.
Say again?
You should get Mike up there with him.
Well, that was the request through Mike, is to see if Mike would like to come up and bring Aaron. Yeah, of course. But I would like to have the Ancient Show podcast on and actually just basically do an episode and come on and talk about what's going on and talk about how people can get into Ancients. So again, I don't need to be the center point for all your guys' information. There's no way I can learn everything that I need to learn to be your sole source of info. I don't even want to try. What I do want to do is be able to establish friendships and relationships with people so that when you're looking for something, I can say, this is the person you need to go to. These are the people that you need to go talk to. If you're looking for a 3-cent nickel or you're looking for a 2-cent piece or something like that, I'm going to be calling Mantic Coins and saying, hey, I got a couple questions for you.
You
mind if
you
I
won't
send them
hear
your way?
back.
Well, not right now. But I mean, I know people that I would reach out to, and
Don't
so
do it.
what I want to do is I want to utilize and build those connections and build those friendships and get those people as mentors so that I can lay that information onto you guys, because that ultimately is but I wanted to do this. Now, Eric, if you'll do me a favor, I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay.
Put my ugly mug up here. And that's,
yeah, me too. Coins After Dark. They're beautiful. I love ancient coins. I do, and I think that many of them are like underrepresented. I just can't go down that rabbit hole. I just can't. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Jack. Jack put up a great discussion about um, on that forum about eBay, and it's Collectors Universe forum, right, Jack? That's a good forum too. Yeah, check that out. That link that Jack posted in there.
oh, I'm looking at that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's a really good discussion.
Yeah, see, these are the kind of things that I want to know. I'm more of a tormentor than. Oh, that's funny. I like that sense of humor, Mike.
You can torment me anytime, Mike.
Well, but again,
Ooh.
it's about knowing information, and this is the site. You can see this right over here.
I can take it.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Sicko.
Yeah, so this is exactly the kind of stuff that we're looking for. But again, folks, if you happen to run across stuff, or you happen to run across something, think, even if it's like, hey, I'm getting ready to make a purchase, I just don't know if this is real. Send us the URLs. And
hey, Frosty.
Yeah.
On the other end, remember we were talking about that they're embedding replica or facsimile in a lot of the descriptions.
I was just going to ask you to share your screen so that we could pull one up.
This one, it's right on. I'll do it right now. Hold on.
That's smart, kin of mine.
This is one that it totally is clean. It says that it's not a real coin and all this other stuff. But let's see where. Oh, I know what I got to do. Hold on.
Good morning, Azure.
Change my screens around.
That's cool, Jack.
I did, Jack. That was fun. Well, it wasn't just me. I mean, it was the 5,000 other people that reported the listing too. You got a lot of participation on that one. That was fun.
All right, so this is another thing, and this is the second half of what we were talking about, that it's really important to review your listing.
Do you go all the way down? This one, it's very apparent because it has item specific. Brands, does not apply, variety, replica, silver, copper. It does kind of get a little bit weird down here, made of copper and plated with silver. Stuff like that.
Well, and they're very clear about this, and this is, again, you look at the language, this hobby coin.
Right, and then there's some in here when you look at them, and they can even be like replicas of actual real coins, they'll have this big, huge, rambling description, and somewhere in there, it'll say facsimile, and the AI grabs facsimile and lets it fly. So a lot of these are getting, they're getting smart where they're hiding stuff within the listing, saying that it's a copy or a replica and stuff like that. So you need to really
and
look
you know what? I think as long as they put it somewhere, it is up to the buyer to research.
That's what I'm saying. Then they're not violating eBay's rules any longer.
Yep, it's up to the buyer to research that kind of stuff.
And this, people like us making them aware is giving people like them reason to work harder to try to scam somebody. So, it's always back and forth. If you teach them that we know this is fake because of this, they're going to fix that and make it where you can't tell there anymore.
DHS, that's one of my new favorite coins. Paula introduced me to that. The
The
potty
potty
dollar.
dollar.
Yeah, and there are some amazing ones, but I did a short on Carson City ones that make it look like they're real coins, but the coin isn't even.
Let's see what else he's got here.
Counterfeit of a
They
counterfeit
do those in
counterfeit.
different denominations too. But they make them from
he don't
just
have
pretty
a whole
much
lot
any
as far as
seeded.
coins. Let's see.
Yeah, it's not like the listings, the 2 or 3 listings that I had where it was the entire
The Book
that
of
was all
Enoch.
counterfeit. They're probably sellers from the mall in eBay or the mall in China that only sells counterfeit goods.
Isn't that funny? Like, and that's a huge mall too.
See, everything but
6
that.
floors.
It looks legitimate.
Oh, who's that book? No,
Morgan Lane.
Oh Lord, don't buy that book.
I know that name.
Don't buy that book. Don't buy that book. Don't buy any books by Kate Kangas. Yeah, just don't look. Yeah, just don't.
Oops. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because after last week, I looked at a bunch of listings, and there are a lot of listings that, will say this facsimile will make a great addition to any collection. Or this, you know what I'm saying, this copy will, and it's not mentioned anywhere else in the listing. Just one little blip somewhere.
Yeah, so Miss Coin Crew, one of the issues with the books like that is that they're all copyright. They've stolen plagiarized the information.
Most of the time, the information is crap.
And so what they've done is they've taken good photos and paired it with bad information. Paula, Chuck, and I did a live talking about it, giving some examples, what the problem is, where they are, talked about a couple different channels that were out there. And it's a huge problem. It's a really big problem, especially on social media. I did a big thing on Coin Channel Tube that 70% of the listings that are his face on Facebook are not actually his channels.
Yeah.
There are other people using his likeness and using his information, but jacking it up, not even giving. I mean, he doesn't give great information. Most of his stuff is mildly misleading, and sometimes it's blatantly misleading, but most of it is just it's lack of information that causes the problem. Whereas these people take his videos and don't really even understand what's going on, and then show circulating coinage, and they're saying you could find this for 70 million or 70 millions. And it's just it's a massive problem. And so I want people just to be aware of these things. And I'm on a bend to share information and just get people to start thinking critically. We have people in chat who and on panel who work really hard to make sure that the explanation of what is counterfeit, and not just saying, well, it's fake because, just look at it. That doesn't tell you anything. Give me some details. Show me what's going on. Understand the difference when you're calling something, well, that's fake. Look at that doubled die. It's not a doubled die. It's a doubled die. And that's not a doubled die. That's ejection doubling. So give people explanations as to why. A lot of these channels, they tell you to find something in your pocket change, but they don't tell you what to look for, or the fact that there's only 2 of them that have ever been found in existence.
Right.
And
then you find something that's worth $5, and they go, is it rare? Well, no.
Here's my problem with the majority of books that are out there. They're basically picture books, and they might have a little bit of information, but if all you want is just pictures of things that you may be able to find or whatever without an explanation of what they are and how you can determine what it is and explains the error, then that book does you no good. It does you no good. I can show you a picture of an error and say, you could find this in a bag of coins and then leave it at that, and you'd be like, okay. So what you're left with is having that picture in your hand and trying to find a coin that you can compare to the picture that looks just like that picture.
Oh
Well,
man, Mike, you should have got a hold of
no
me.
two error coins look exactly alike. So how's that going to work for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's fine. Anybody can take pictures of coins and put a book out there. What you want is a book that's going to tell you how you can find that error, what it is, you know. If you know what the error is and how it happened and everything, then you don't need a picture of a coin to tell you. You'll be able to know when you see that coin. You'll be able to know. So if you have a basic understanding of what doubled dies are and the different classes and what they all look like, then you don't need a picture to tell you what that doubled, what you're looking for. You'll be able to look through coins and go, "Oh my gosh, that's a doubled die." Now you can, after you find that, you can go and see if you can match it up to a known listing. But if you know what a doubled die is and how to find it and what it looks like, then you need to know that first.
Sorry, number one piece of advice. People always say, "How do I know?" Finding one is the best way, because once you find the first one,
right,
you get it.
Right. And a book, yeah, I mean, pictures in a book are not going to teach you how to identify doubled dies. It's going to teach you how to identify that specific doubled die, but that's it. It's very, very incomplete information on most of these books. Even if the information is accurate, it is very incomplete. So why spend your money on something that's only going to give you a tiny bit of information instead of spending your money buying a book like Alan Herbert's book or
but not only that,
it's going to
when you do that, you just reassure that person that it's okay for them to continue to rip off other people. And you take the time and the money and the experience from the person who actually did the research. I showed, there are a number of people who have utilized this, and a great example of this is the hand-drawn doubling image that Chuck did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Tons and tons of people have replicated that, but who did it originally? Chuck from Copper Coins. And sketched it out in such, I would have loved if he kept the original, but he did it on a scratch piece of paper, took a picture, and then threw it away. That picture would have been worth something to somebody, because that's kind of, when you see a double die, most people see that image, they know exactly what it is. Like, it makes sense to them. But since a lot of people have utilized that, redrawn it in their own way, but it's still the same basic thing. Now, is it a problem for them to take that idea and use it? No. But what they do is they replicate it, and then they don't source that person is the one who actually did it. And that's perjury. That's stealing. And so I'm less about the how do I say this? People who do the work need to be given the credit for it. But if you're utilizing somebody else's information and you're doing it correctly, you're better than these people who do it half-ass, or these people who do it completely wrong, try to claim. AI is horrible for that. AI, one, doesn't give sources. It just blatantly rips off whomever it's in there. But eBay has been very clear that, and you look at these messages, I'll see if I can find one real fast in my email, make sure. And y'all don't need that. So this one, I'll read exactly what it says. Let me just find the response. But this one says after AI review, we have deemed that this no longer violates the intent of this particular element. And this is AI. And if AI is the one that's actually going through this, then, I mean, God, if they can't identify a fake coin that's 70 years before the coin designer was born.
Yeah.
Why, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. So find people that you connect with. If that's me, great. Subscribe, follow, hit the bell. Perfect. If it's not, then let me connect you to somebody who might be. If your thing is ancients, I'm going to get you to Mike and Aaron. If your thing is sense, I'm going to connect you with Eric and Chuck. If your thing is, if you're a wrench head who likes to collect coins, I'm going to connect you over to Just Stack It. What's up, Just Stack It? How you doing, brother? Somebody that's back into the hobby after taking a little bit of a hiatus. It's good to have him back in. India has been a very, very big thing. Channels and copying. You see Eric from Coin Channel Tube. They love copying his stuff. You look at a majority of those things that are there. They're
well, he
Indian.
also loves copying other people's stuff. So
yes, he does. But again, it's wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't. He lies to you through lies of omission. Like, he doesn't give you all the details.
Mm-hmm.
He just tells you that there's something that was a very expensive coin, and then he shows you pocket change, and then says, you could this is still circulating. The problem is that the thing that he shows you is a proof coin. There's only 2 of them, and they weren't found in circulation. So it's a lie. It doesn't matter if the information is correct. It's a lie, because you're never going to find that in your pocket change. You're going to find that maybe in a mint set, and there's only 2, and they're owned by the same person. What does that tell you? The likelihood that you're ever going to find one is slim to none. Doesn't mean don't look for them. It's just have realistic expectations. So if you look at a lot of the shorts that I've been putting out, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is provide realistic.
Exactly. People take little bits of the truth and they embellish it.
Yeah.
That still is a lie. That still makes it a lie.
Well,
Even if it has little bits of truth to it, if it's not all truth, it's a lie.
You seen that I did the short yesterday? So I did a short last night, and it was of the 1995 double die that I got. And hey, Jack, thank you for throwing that link in the Facebook discussion. I'm also, hey folks, I don't know if you guys are on LinkedIn. If any of you are on LinkedIn, please find Frostbyte coins on LinkedIn. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start doing this from a business standpoint to see if I can get businesses engaged as well. So if you guys are on LinkedIn, please come over to Frostbyte coins on LinkedIn, and I'll be putting the URLs. I got some updating I need to do on my page today. I'll be establishing those links. I'm trying to get more stuff tied to social media that allows me to distribute the same information ways. So if you guys are on LinkedIn, let me know, and I'll give you the information. The link should be there. If it's not done today, depending upon what Bifrost has to do or what she's got to get done today, it might be tomorrow before I can get to it. But like I said, I'm really trying to grow my presence and really get that stuff out there and get it in front of the hands of some of these administrators, get it in front of the hands of people, make some impacts. I'm even using some of the channels that I've worked with within my job to connect to some bigwigs to try to find out some information, gaining certain interviews and stuff like that. I'm really trying to do what I can to grow this for you guys. What is extrapolate? Extrapolate is to go in and pull out information. You do research. So you go in and you gather data, you put it together, you extrapolate that information. and that's what that is. But anyway, this 1995 double die. The way I did this is I said no mint mark sent. Let's review. And then what I did is I talked about the 1995. I talked about the item, and then I said, oh, by the way, don't forget that all no mint mark coins that are on cents are from Philadelphia, and give them the information so people watch it. And as soon as it hits that point, it goes bonk. They don't even get to the point where it says it's only $100 coin.
We have to be careful saying that too, because not all cents without the Philly mint mark are from Philadelphia.
Well, all but
so you have to be careful saying that, because West Point and San Francisco also minted.
Yes.
Yeah, but you would know that if you didn't have a bag that was marked this.
Actually, their bags aren't marked.
Yeah,
no,
well, but what I'm saying is, if you got
no way of knowing what cent.
There's no way of knowing.
Yeah. So, but normally, and again, there's nuance to that. But normally, if there's no mint mark coin, Philadelphia. But like the 1922 no D, that is an intended one. Or the 17P is an exception. But other than that, people understand. I know exactly what you're saying, though, and that is very nuanced. We do
bring that up quite a bit. I've actually said it probably a dozen times on my stream. I think I've said it a few times on this stream.
Yeah, but this is one that I did pick up from the St. Jude auction, and has nice doubling on it. It's a really, really cool piece. I'd played with the lighting a little bit and had I did some funky lighting so that the ridge is really showing up on that coin. Makes it look funny, but it's interesting.
Did I ever tell you about my 95? Got an MS67 from PCGS, and I got it back, and I'm like, oh man, it's such a great coin. And I pull it out about 6 months later, and there's a thumbprint on the front and a fingerprint on the back. Somebody pinched it between their fingers.
Oh,
and it was just like, who did that? It wasn't me, you know. And it's just like, oh,
yeah.
Well, it could have been there for a while.
Well, it was probably there
just all of
when
a sudden
I looked
appeared.
at it. Yeah, because it was out of a bag of coins. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so, but again, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach out now and really, like, what do you look at? Nose was bleeding. It just ended up being sinus. What do you look at for coins? What kind of things do you look at? You know, and we talk about this a lot. But lighting, this is something I need to have. I need to get you and Chuck back on the stream to talk about photographing and show how the manipulation of the light can actually hide issues and why you need to be careful when you
create issues.
Stuff like
and
that.
it can make things look totally different, right?
I got a good photo of that.
Yeah.
It fooled me. And like I say, I do it every single day.
And not just you. It fools a lot of people. It's not just you.
Yep.
We did a video about it. And
matter of fact, I got an update on that kind of. I'll talk to you later about it, because ultimately, I think they're going to send a coin. But he said yes, it's incused, but the marks on it are not.
It is an incused ejection doubling. It is
The
incused
doubling
machine
part
doubling.
is not.
100%. I will tell you 100%.
I agree. But I don't. He says I'm going to send it to you.
I've seen all different forms of it. Everything. It's
when I told him, I said
and
it's incused and this and that. He says, well, only the letters are incused. The stuff that's in the letters is not. I says, well, I'll have to see it then. I says, because those pictures, everything looks whacked out to me.
Yeah.
So
you need to look at it, and even people, so there's a weird phenomena that happens with that incused, those quarters. There's a weird phenomena that happens. They will look at it under the microscope, right? And those areas will look raised. They will swear,
you saw the picture.
No, this is raised, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Then you will say, look at it through a loop. And for some people, their brain still cannot flip it.
change.
Once they've seen it
I
one way,
understand.
their brain cannot flip it.
That is a normal thing. And there's have you ever seen, matter of fact, hold on, I'm going to pull this up. Go ahead and talk, Eric. I'm going to pull this up. There's a great example of this that I want to share with everybody.
Just saying, when I talked to them after that, they said, yeah, the design is incuse, but the stuff I'm talking about is not. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to have to see it because the photos do me no good.
Yeah.
And that was what was said about it. So,
well,
I just thought I would tell you about that.
Yeah. So he's sending you the coin.
He hasn't said he is or not. That was the last conversation.
Oh.
He probably will because he sends coins frequently.
Yeah, I would love for him to send that to you so that you could get it in your hand and see it with your own eyes, because I can explain it till I'm blue in the face.
Sure. No, I actually understand totally what you're saying. It's like incuse doubling. People always say there's incuse doubling. It's like, no, it's not incuse doubling. It works opposite when it's incuse doubling.
Totally the opposite. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to share this with you all. Paula, this is exactly what you're talking about. And so when you look at this particular element, what you're going to see is you're going to see the item one way, and then you're going to see it the other way. And these are brain.
I love that. I love that.
These are brain teasers. And this understanding this element, understanding this particular thing, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. It's going to get a little fuzzy because the quality of this photo is bad. But the important thing to understand, and this is something that we look at when we do industrial psychology, of how do you look at things, and once the mind sees something, it has a hard time letting go. And this is why eyewitness reports and stuff like that are so bad. And that is, if you look at all of these, you'll see them as upside up. But the moment that you see them where they look like you would put food on them, you can never see it the other way. If you look at this and you see them normal, and then you look at the second way where it looks like they're all upside down, you'll never be able to see it without the opposite direction. That's right. Because once your mind's eye feels like it makes sense of something, it will always refer to that. And so this goes back through, is the dress purple or gold, blue or gold, right? Once your mind eye makes up that determination whether or not that particular element is or is not what that is.
I can make it go back and forth.
Well, very few people can, though. Very few people can. Some people can look at this, look away, then look back and see it again. Most people can't do that because once your mind's eye makes it up, it's over.
And it's funny, when it flips over, it's like instant. That's funny.
Yeah, and boom, it just happens. Yeah. And so there's a lot of that stuff. And that's pareidolia, right? Your mind sees what it wants to see. Just like faces, our optic makeup is designed to make reference of something. Faces is how we identify people. So we see faces in
and you can convince other people. Yep. You can convince other people the suggestion, just the suggestion of something, and other people will start to see what you see.
There's a great example of that. And if you guys, this will have to be outside normal coin channel talk. I may even do it on witticism. Witticism, if you look up there, wherever the hell it is over there. This is where it's dad jokes and stuff like that, but this may be a topic for that. A great example is an officer stands in front of an area and has a car come in. They come in at a certain mile per hour. It's a dirt road. They do a small donut, then they leave, and then the officer comes running out and the car takes off. And they ask the eyewitness reports, or the eyewitnesses, how fast was the car going? But the way that the officer uses it, they ask 6 people. They ask one set of officers a certain way, the other set of people the other way. And the change is the car ripped in at about how many miles an hour, right? The car rushed in about how many miles per hour, or the car entered at what speed versus the car rushed in. So when you rushed in, everything was 10, 15, 20 miles an hour faster. When they said how fast did the car enter, they were more accurate because you can lead people by utilizing certain words. And this happens in court. This happens, they talk about leading a witness. So this is a known issue. This is why information, when they talk about these videos, showing a circulated coin, because it's the only thing you happen to have in front of you, really screws with people because that's what their mind's eye will now see. They will always see that this beat up coin is the MS68 version, and they don't know any better. And you can't fault them for that because they've been indoctrinated into understanding that the coin that they were shown is the grade that they should be looking for. And it sounds foolish to us, but a lot of people just don't know. So it's very important for people to understand that.
What do you plan on talking about tomorrow, Frosty?
Say that again.
What's going to be the topic tomorrow?
Topic tomorrow is Angry Warrior is going to be bringing up all the silver, and he's going to be talking about pours and stuff. We'll be talking about some coins because he's very particular about what he'll melt down. He doesn't melt down everything, but there are certain things he will out. He'll talk a little bit about that. He'll talk about the art of pouring and what happens. But tomorrow's just going to be fun. It's not coin related, really. It's just talk about some really cool silver stuff. This is more the collectible side of what was Frostbyte Coins and Collectibles. We talked about this for a long time. Mm-hmm. But this kind of will be just general fun chit chat talk style stuff. I may or may not have even purchased one to give away. So you might want to.
That's a leading statement.
You might want to be here tomorrow.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. I'm not saying anything. And I may or may not indicate that you should probably be able to enter into chat.
I always enter into chat. I got both windows running.
And there may or may not be a will involved. Or there may or may not be
we know there'll be lots of people here tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be fun. I want to do this every once in a while, but Angry's done some amazing stuff. Angry just sent Paula a really cool little F-16.
Yes, F-16. Yeah, that's right. I saw that.
But we'll be able to show some stuff. Like I said, I'm going to go pick up all my pours today and then bring them home so that I can show them tomorrow.
And then Paula's got a broadcast of Jack Young this week, maybe this week.
Well, yes, it probably will premiere Monday.
Okay.
If the stars align and it doesn't take 50 hours to upload like it has been, and all the editing and everything, because Amanda's going to do all the editing because Amanda is amazing.
So we'll see it Monday then, huh?
Possibly Monday, possibly Tuesday. The best thing to do is to get over and click that bell so that you know when because it will be a premiere, because we like to do it that way so that Jack and I are in the chat to answer any questions. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than the past ones. It's going to be fantastic. You don't want to miss it. Share it out.
Outstanding. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, you're a pretty talented dude too. Maybe I should have you up to do some jewelry making stuff. We'll have to talk about that as well. I want to do some fun stuff. We do a lot of coin, a lot of education stuff, but again, ultimately we're a bunch of different hobbies coming together. So I want to have some fun Sundays. So maybe once a month, or maybe every other Sunday, do just kind of this fun hobby stuff, and kind of break in, just have some chit chat and hang around, pal around, and show some cool.
I will always try to pull people from every genre into coin collecting. So
gives you an opportunity.
I will always try to bring you over to this side.
Yeah, and that, I'm a big the collector. I'm a variety collector, and actually, I like RPMs more than anything. But I do buy silver rounds and this and that. Not very often. I've got to be shamed into it. Like Frostbyte will say, "Hey, I love ships. I love space. I love space travel and stuff like that." So every time I see a space round, I buy it, and
then he blames me for it,
and then I blame him for it, right? Because it justifies me
Frostbyte
doing
is all
that.
about the ships. Frostbyte
and the ships too.
I do love my ships.
Yeah,
I love ship planes. I love all that kind of stuff.
I like my Exonumia.
So
I thought you were going to say X-wing fighters.
Our show will be about the attribution points for the 5 best fakes.
Oh,
and
nice.
he just stated that he's going to show
Pedro.
all the now. Look at this. I want you to look at this one. You guys see that?
Oh boy, I think Jack has that one now.
Jack just sent me that photo. And so these are some of the things that I want to share with you guys. And again, I always give credit where credit is due.
Put that back up there a minute. Are you going to do a video on it or something? Put that back up there for a minute.
I am. I'm going to talk to Jack about it.
It's a cool one. It's a good one too, man. I think that is probably one of the best ones I have ever seen. I do think that one is scary good.
Yeah, and there's again, these are not like the little cheap ass ones you're going to see on that eBay show that we just showed you. These are designed to deceive not only us but the grading companies and stuff like that.
That one took a while.
Hey, Mike, are you still in chat?
That one took a while to figure out.
Yeah. If Mike is still in chat, there is one coin I want him to keep an eye out for.
He does not have the smirk, Adam. He does not have the smirk.
No, it's really cool.
Die scratch by the T.
No.
Yeah, so vote for Pedro again. I did a thing on that one too, looking at these, 170 millions. I'm sending you an email very shortly, and I need you to put your email address back in chat because I got a bounce back the last time I sent it. I tried to put it in there, but I wasn't sure if it was coming across correctly. So can you put your email back in? I want to send you an email right now. I'm looking for a very, very specific counterfeit coin.
He's hunting wabbits.
I'm hunting wabbits. And I know which one I want. I know about what it's going to cost me. But at least I think I do because it's going to set me back a little bit. But Rob's Numismatic Archaeology, good day. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Good to see you.
A familiar hat on during my stream with Jack. Jack's probably going to be wearing a familiar T-shirt, but familiar to me. But I'm going to wear my hat tomorrow, Mike.
What, the unicorn hat?
No, Mike sent me a coin show. He sent me an ancient podcast hat, and I haven't had an opportunity to wear it yet, so I'm going to wear it tomorrow. I'm gonna wear it tomorrow because I love that hat. It's like business in the front, party in the back.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, that hat is fun.
Hey Mike, just fired off that email, bud. Thank you for that. I want to do a video on this, but I want this coin in hand, and I'm willing to pay a little bit for it. So,
what are you buying?
I'm buying a coin.
A real coin?
No, it's real enough.
Oh.
So, and it's not a Henning. If you're thinking Henning, it's not a Henning.
What's it, one of the Lebanese fakes?
No. Do you want me to give you a date, a hint?
16D.
Resistance is futile.
Oh.
The eyes just threw me off.
Oh, The Borg, yes, the board. No, it's not the 1922D. Think about the ohm symbol or the omega symbol.
Oh, all right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Resistance.
Oh, it is the Lebanese. Weren't those made in Lebanon?
Maybe. I don't know.
So he has one?
I just wanted to look for one because I want to do. I've done videos on it before, but I want to do that's. So there's a couple of things that I really want to have, but Locutus. Yeah, I'm glad you guys know who the Borg and everything is, but yeah, that's one that I absolutely. That's kind of one of those. They're real.
We've talked about that a lot.
They're real coins, but they're real gold, but they're really neat. Yeah, me too. So I'm you put Star Wars and Star Trek, I'm a Trekkie first. I like Star Wars, but I like Star Trek.
Back when the counterfeiters were like only needed 2 to 5% to make their money.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. Well, I've got to go get ready and pick up Bifrost. I'm hoping if she doesn't, she may not come over. There's a lot of stuff going on. We were supposed to do some stuff this evening where we do a live stream and stuff, and then she ended up canceling because she had some stuff going on. So we'll have to wait and see. So as soon as I find out if we do something, I'll be posting it in chat. Again, folks, if you come across any really good-looking eBay things that counterfeit, or if you see something in a stream and you have a question, you're not sure, reach out to us. Let us know. If you see something that's whatnot, ask, and let's get the people together. Let's look at it and see.
If you have a question, listen to your gut because your gut's usually right.
Yeah.
First impressions are usually right too.
Yep.
And I'll tell you from a buyer standpoint, if anybody ever pressures you to buy because it's like, hey, if this doesn't sell now, then I'm not selling it at this price again. I'm not. It's just not going to happen. If they pull that tactic, walk away. Because it's probably already overpriced.
Here's another
and normally,
that you don't want. Don't buy anything you don't want.
It's not even that. There's a lot of people that will do that. But one of the greatest tactics in selling is to make people feel like they're going to miss out. FOMO. Mm-hmm. But it's also a sales tactic for somebody who's trying to scam you. One of the greatest comments I heard was regarding customer service and resolving problems within PayPal. And that was the people who were the scammers were the ones usually to scream and yell the loudest.
Before you go, can I bring something up real quick?
Nope.
Okay, bye.
You're
not the boss of me.
Fire away.
If you guys, so if you have not seen the latest U.S. Mint production numbers, please go look or go. I posted them in our Facebook group. There is no the U.S. They are still producing the U.S. cents. And the millions.
Yeah, imagine
so we are almost up to $1 billion. Almost up to $1 billion cents, and it is only that's only through March.
Through March,
so they are cranking them out. So if you still are thinking about paying an exorbitant amount for 25 cents, don't, please. I mean, you can buy what you want, spend your money how you want, but don't say I didn't warn you, because I've been trying. But
yeah, so
okay, I'm gonna go. Have a blessed day, everybody.
All right, love you, Paula. Thank you.
Love you. Okay, yeah, bye.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you. All right, folks. Well, that was fun. I appreciate you guys being here. I really want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity. And again, and I'll keep saying this. I'm going to say this all the time because it's one of the best quotes that I've recently heard, and I really firmly believe everyone here that's watching this, an earshot of my voice, or somebody that watches the video, has the opportunity for greatness. You can really help the hobby. You can also really hurt. So it's on us to give you the best possible information we can. I want to make you guys as smart and as well versed in as much as you possibly can. If I can't provide you the information, again, LiveCoin QA. Paula has been a mentor, really done a lot of great things. Amanda, Shay, Sean. Sean we got to coordinate time. He's going to come up and be on the panel. Coins and Ghouls came in, was chatting, talking a bunch of stuff, really supporting this. Right, Shannon. Right, everybody there has done a really good job to help support me. There's also been people like Jack Young and Jack Riley who have come alongside and said, "Hey, you know, like the fact that you enjoy doing this. Let me give you information." They're free to give information. They're open as a resource. Dealing with Chuck Daughtry. Chuck Daughtry came into the stream at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock the other morning when I couldn't sleep to go live, and came in and supported the channel. There's a lot of people are really hell bent on making sure you guys are. And I want to make sure that you're connected. Do me a favor. I'm not asking you to subscribe, but when you get information like this, if you feel like it's good and you already are, then share it out. That's the biggest thing I can ask. All right, folks. I love you guys. Be well, be blessed. I will see you tomorrow for Angry Warrior and some amazing pours. And again, you better bring your chat tomorrow, because if you're not, you might miss out. All right. Take care. Be blessed, folks. We'll see you.